All right, thanks again to our sponsors, Western Digital and Crucial. And be sure to check out those Cyber Monday deals on Newegg at esl.gg/Newegg Esports. They're the guys making this whole show happen. They're the guys who are setting up our prize pool at our $20,000 LAN finals in February. Yeah. That's what this whole show's about, man.
Yeah, all setting up for that finals. Of course, we talked about it a little bit earlier. 4 players from the point system, the top 4 players in points, and also 4 players that win the last 4 weeks of the Legendary Series on Saturday for a total of 8 players. So that should be really exciting. We got a lot of big invited names up in the next coming weeks, a lot of great qualified players, and I'm really excited to see who are those 8 players that we go to. But, of course, Max versus Noxious is the next matchup that we're going to do.
That's invite versus open right here.
Yeah.
This is where the people saying that tournaments need more open spots. We're going to see what Max is up to in this week. He qualified alongside Fraze, and Fraze actually already went through to the semifinals.
Yeah, so probably wants to join his open tournament brother.
Yes.
And Noxious, of course, from Team Complexity.
Known for that Miracle Rogue, which it looks like we're going to see in Game 3. But first, Shaman versus Druid. Noxious is Shaman versus Max's Druid. I believe this is the same ramp Druid we saw with the Wild Growths in the Open qualifiers just yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know much about that matchup. Just my gut feeling is saying it kind of goes in favor of the Druid.
Yeah. Against which matchup?
Druid versus Shaman, I believe.
Druid versus
Shaman for Noxious versus Druid for Max.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, no, it's the Miracle Druid.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow, okay, yeah. It's a big telltale sign here. The Moonfire synergizes well with the Gadgets and Auctioneers. You want to draw through your deck and go into those win conditions. Very similar to Miracle Rogue, except Druid goes towards the Force of Nature Savage Roar, just Savage Roar in general if you have a lot of tokens on the board.
Look at that double lava burst in Noxious's hand, though. He's wearing a wizard hat.
Wow.
Look at that. That's pretty fitting for him on account of that double lava burst.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be flinging spells this game.
Yeah, he's like Crazy Mage from yesterday.
Yeah, except he's an actual crazy mage.
Literally a crazy mage.
Yeah.
There we go. Max deciding to keep that innovate. Again, this is the Miracle Druid that we've seen come into popularity recently. I think popularized by Life Coach on his stream.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He was definitely playing it at DreamHack earlier.
Yep.
And knowing Life Coach, that game started about 3 hours ago, so it's probably about halfway done.
Yeah, probably. He loves the rope. So Max just going to decide, Noxious just going to decide to totem and pass. And yeah, tricky spot here for Max's Miracle Druid because he's still a little bit of ways from getting that Gadget Sand Power Spike with the Violet Teacher spell combo. Noxious looking happy. He's showboating for the camera a little bit. I think he's happy with that one. He was afraid that it was going to be the start of the miracle, the Moonfires and the Innervates, keeping that Gadget Sand going.
Yeah, he's trying to think. Does he want to lava burst this target? And it looks like that answer is going to be a resounding no. Doesn't feel real good to lava burst the Azure Drake.
Yeah, especially since unlike Miracle Rogue, Miracle Druid doesn't have the conceal. So Gadget Sand is still weak to those single target removal spells. Like
the Gadget Sand is naked.
It's a naked Gadget Sand.
Yeah.
Weak to both Lava Burst, Hex, public decency laws. Also, I didn't know where you were going with that, TJ. TJ's kind of looking at me funny, like, say something.
Naked without a diaper.
Oh, no. that goes back between us. That's my least favorite phrase in all of esports shoutcasting. Anyway.
All right, well,
this is the silence down.
Pretty good way to deal with this deal with this pesky Harvest Golem. And now Noxious is probably wishing, man, I should have lava bursted that Azure Drake.
Yep. Although there is the Hex that he is also looking for. It's Hex or Lava Burst that is a good way to deal with those Violet Teachers and Gadgets and Auctioneers. And lucky for Noxious, he's got all 3 in his hand.
Yeah, the Gnomish Inventor as well is really good for this board because it'll trade with the Azure Drake and it's actually just going to go ahead and Earthshock that out. Not going to have that Earthshock for later in the game if there's going to be a Gadgets and Auctioneer. He doesn't have any way to deal with it, but those Lava Bursts are
spicy. That's I think what you were going to say. There we go.
Yeah,
Violet Teacher
exactly
coming down with Claw. Claw going to be able to combo with the Keeper of the Grove and take out this Gnomish Inventor. Building a nice board for himself here. This is around the time Miracle Druid starts to get a bit crazy.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see what Noxious wants to do to deal with it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if this draws a Lava Burst, because next turn it's a little bit rough because next turn would be the natural Fire Elemental turn. And he would be able to do that being overloaded by 2.
He might just want to Hex it. Hex won't overload him. He can just roll a totem and Hex the Violet Teacher. That way he can still put down the Fire Elemental on curve, or he has the Lava Burst to deal with future threats. If he Lava Bursts now, he's going to have a 4 mana turn 6, and that is not as strong.
Yeah. And if judging by the Violet Teacher, he's got to know that this is either a Token Druid or the Miracle Druid.
Wow.
So
Pops a Rockbiter instead.
In that situation, what else would you Hex? What other bigger targets are there for you to Hex? Especially since he has 2 of them. He can be a little bit liberal with those, and how about he decides not to?
Shade and X Ramus comes down. No spells in hand that he can use with the Gadget Sand.
Wow, look at that symmetry, that hand symmetry.
Wow.
Ooh.
Looks good.
That's nice.
The double cards for both guys. There's the Wild Growth. That is a really strong turn 10 play with the Gadget Sand, because you get 3 cards in Miracle Druid. You get the initial cast of Wild Growth, and then you use the excess mana, which innately draws a card, and of course, because it's a spell itself, it gets you a 3rd one.
Yeah. You missed that turn. He did that turn as fast as you could possibly do a Hearthstone turn.
I did miss it. Yeah, exactly. Noxious happy to put down that Fire Elemental on curve, like we talked about.
Ooh, here comes the.
Here it comes.
What's he gonna draw? Ooh, I don't think that's what he wanted. Wild Growth, probably not the best. The turn 10 Gadgetzan Wild Growth draws you 3 cards. The 3-card combination. Oh, that's big right there.
That's not bad, though. It is going to keep the 4/4 alive. Here comes the Lava Burst, and that is a lot of removal that Max just spent to clear Noxious's board.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he was trying to protect his Gadgetzan Auctioneer, but in the process he gave up some tokens which could have been used for that Force of Nature Savage Roar combo. Usually those Miracle Druids run 2 combos. Actually, 98.6% of the time.
Yep. You definitely want the double Savage Roar because of the Violet Teacher.
And just the miracle aspect of since you're running so many low-cost spells, your win conditions are limited, and you're not going to win from board control alone. Well, sometimes you are, but you really rely on having multiple Savage Roars and multiple Force of Natures, but not quite as important.
Here's where Lava Burst is a great card, though. 5 damage innately. Really good at dealing with these Violet Teachers that Max is trying to get down on the board, get those tokens up, and then go for the Savage Roar win.
I think right now he's afraid of Lightning Storm. He hasn't seen the Lightning Storm yet. Playing that Shade into Lightning Storm gives Noxious so much value. You're clearing the tokens, getting a lot of damage onto that Violet Teacher, which could be cleared pretty easily with like a Lightning Bolt or just a Rock Biter. So he might want to try and draw out a little bit of AoE removal before he plays the Shade, but right now, since he's got defined win conditions in his hand, he has the Force Nature Savage Roar combo next turn, and I believe that would be lethal even from 26 health. 14, 19, 24. It would be lethal.
It's 14 damage innate.
He has 28 damage next turn, I believe.
Yeah.
Even with that.
So it's going to be
19,
4 on the board. Oh, yeah, Moonfire on top.
24. No, that's lethal.
14 innate from Force of Nature Savage Roar.
That's lethal.
Plus 4 on the board is 18, plus...
the Hex.
Right, exactly. Plus an extra 6 is... Okay, now I lost count again.
Let's
just say it's lethal.
Is he going to be at 2 health or not?
All right, since Max is counting it now, we get to count one more time. Are you ready, TJ? 14.
I already counted it. 8. I think it's exact lethal.
Okay, we'll count. I'll let the game do the work. With Moonfire, I think it's exact lethal.
Yeah.
Oh!
What?
Oh, no. No spell power. That's 1 day.
Oh.
Oh, okay, good. See, this is why you count, TJ. Ooh. Players like Max, they don't make the mistakes that we do.
What health would he have been at?
He would have been at 1 health.
Great job.
Thank you.
It's a little bit less than 2 health, which is your expertise, your forte.
It is.
Yeah.
But you know what they say? Those who can't do, cast. And the fact that both of us just missed that lethal, I think the adage proves true.
Yeah.
Either way, though, Noxious in a really rough spot.
I blame it on the Moonfire was glowing when he had the Azure Drake. So it just stuck in my head.
Oh, yeah. 2 damage spell for 0.
Yeah.
It's broken, man.
That's so broken.
It is funny to think about Miracle Druid, though, just as a concept. Miracle Rogue was popular for so long, and Druid's got 2 0-mana spells.
Oh, and he top decks the Force of Nature. But, of course, Shamans don't really have any ways to gain health, so it was only a matter of time before he drew into something that was going to finish the game. So Max, with that Miracle Druid, takes game 1 over Noxious, and that's rough.
That's rough. Noxious role-playing as that Shaman as well. I couldn't even tell him apart with that wizard hat on.
Yeah, was he a Shaman? Was he Noxious?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, that's just the entertaining nature of Noxious. One of my favorite streams to watch.
Yeah.
But anyway, as we go into game 2, it's going to be interesting to see if he moves away from that spell-focused. Oh, nope.
Hunter
Oh,
versus
yeah, sorry.
Priest.
There we go. It is going to be Max on the Control Priest. He showed a great job of using that deck yesterday. Does look like Noxious is going to be on Hunter, though.
Yeah, both these guys, one of the few players that we've seen so far in both weeks, in the Open and the actual Legendary Series match day, who have not brought Warlock. Very surprising. True. Either Zoo or Handlock seems to be a staple in most players' competitive lineups, regardless of format. And these guys, both of them, neither of them decided to go with that Warlock. So,
well, I think that in this format, since your Hunter can't be banned out,
yeah,
Warlock and Zoo and Hunter are very similar.
Yeah.
At the same time, Handlock is pretty heavily countered by Hunter. That's why you don't see it so much on ladder.
Yeah.
So I feel like that may be part of it. A lot of these guys bringing the decks like the Shaman, the Control Priest, even Control Warriors from Phrase.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see a slightly different meta in the ESL Legendary Series.
Yeah. So this is a great opening hand for Max here to be able to deal with the Honor. Zombie Chow is one of the greatest early aggro stoppers. And, of course, Wild Pyromancer, you can tell he's playing that Control Priest that we saw yesterday. If it's the same deck, he's running that Silence, and he's also running, I don't know if can't remember if we saw Holy Smites, but just so many ways to be able to deal with a lot of those creatures, and that's a pretty good hand.
Yeah. All right, so Leper Gnome down on turn 1 for Noxious. We saw the Loot Hoarder, and that's kind of tipping us off that it's maybe a bit more mid-rangey. Still the Undertaker-style Death Rattle Hunter deck that we've seen a lot of recently, but
yeah.
Loot Hoarder, there's his other Loot Hoarder. A great way to cycle through your deck to some of the other cards you want, instead of just being an innately powerful 2-drop like a Mad Scientist or some other card.
Yeah.
This is the exact same opening we saw Max run yesterday, though. He put down the Zombie Chow on turn 1, and then turns 2 and 3 just healed it back up to full, and it was great board control against the Hunter opponent he faced.
Yeah, this is ridiculous value from the Zombie Chow, and he's going to get an axe swing from it, too. So, in good shape, and Noxious's hand isn't that great. Loot Hoarder is actually a card that a lot of Hunters on ladder now have been dropping out of their decks. It's great with that Undertaker, but it's not that great when you draw it at the later stages of the game, because as a Hunter, sometimes you get down to where you just need that reach, and Loot Hoarder is just not going to provide you with that reach.
But with tracking in that deck as well, I just kind of think like this is, we're going to see Noxious's deck curve high.
Yeah.
Like, with tracking, you don't want to draw an Undertaker or Haunted Creeper. You want to get your Yetis, your Houndmasters, your Savannah Highmanes.
Well, with the Loot Hoarders in his deck, I don't know what he has room for with those mid-range creatures. He has to drop Sledge Belchers out of the deck, or he has to drop the Yetis or the Houndmasters out of the deck to be able to fit those in, usually. Tracking as well.
Yeah.
Some Hunters might put it in place of, like, a Flare, but...
Double Animal Companion.
Oh, yes!
That's a great minion to... If you are to play this mid-range style a bit more aggressively focused against a Priest, which you really need to do because they stabilize so well, Huffer is one of the best ways to deal with it.
That was a freezing trap?
I believe so, yeah.
It came from the Mad Scientist.
Yeah. If this is a mid-range Hunter, we're not likely to see the snake traps, maybe an explosive trap.
Yeah.
The most likely thing is that trap exists for value, and it's probably going to be a freezing trap.
So... this turn, it's turn 6, and he has a Savannah Hyman in his hand, but He doesn't want to leave his Huffer out there to dry.
Great tracking into Lotheb there from Noxious against a Control Priest. That is a very strong card.
Yeah, and especially if he picks the Mad Scientist or the Freezing Trap, he's going to run into a problem. Lotheb's almost an automatic choice. If he picks the Mad Scientist, he's discarding the Freezing Trap, which means that's one less trap from his deck that Mad Scientist is going to be able to pull from.
Yeah.
And I just think Lotheb just fits it so much better.
Yep.
The rest
Keep in mind, because people may not have seen tracking in a while, these two cards will be discarded.
Yes.
Scientist and Freezing Trap are out of the deck if he picks Lotheb. Wow, so Lotheb is no longer an option for him. He wants that Sludge Belcher gone.
Yeah. And let me tell you a story about me learning the hard way that tracking discarded your cards. It was back when Hunter wasn't as popular. Long, long ago.
I was like an old man.
I was running Leroy in my deck, and I tracking it at one point, and I picked a different card over Leroy. And then I played the entire game, going all the way to my last card in fatigue, waiting for that Leroy because it would have given me lethal the whole game. And Leroy never popped in my deck.
That's sad.
I spent 5 minutes going back to my deck list saying, there is a Leroy in there. I saw it when I tracked.
And then it hit you.
And then it hit me. I'm an idiot.
Like a ton of bricks. It happens to the best of us, man. Don't worry.
The one time you'd want to get Leok.
Yeah,
well,
seriously.
actually, no, because
he got the Kill Command. Yeah, this is great. He could just get rid of that bow if he wants and push 5 damage to the Hunter's face. Is that what he decides to do? There's no way he's sacrificing Huffer here or the 5 points of damage. I mean, Noxious has to be thinking about his win conditions right now because he's down to only 2 cards. Priest is one of those classes where you can't win with Hunter power alone. They don't work like other classes. The clock doesn't exist. Priest has no concept of time. He can just keep healing his face, cast spells like Holy Fire, and it's easy for him to stabilize the board. Look at this. Pyromancer and then Holy Fire the Leok. That's a board clear.
That is a board clear, but he doesn't have enough mana for that.
7 mana. Oh, sorry, 8 mana. I'm a fool. There's so many 5s in Holy Fire. It's like heal for 5, deal 5 damage, and then all of a sudden they just say, oh yeah,
it
and
costs
it's 6. Yeah, exactly. Tricked you. All right, so he's going to get a... He's going to realize that this is a... Wow, I wonder if he would decide to Cabal first, knowing that it's Freezing Trap, just to be able to get that 1-1 trade-off.
Then he's losing out on his Cabal. And the Pyromancer Circle of Healing is not a viable option here to clear that just because it'll heal the Huffer before it does damage.
True that, but no one would ever make that mistake, right?
He's saying that because he made that very mistake.
And talked about it yesterday. The entertainment value of this stream must go up if viewers are watching the open finals as well.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get to know us a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you really get to get those ridiculous inside jokes that we throw out.
All right.
And you guys can be a part of those inside jokes.
Yeah, seriously. Just tune in.
Then they become outside jokes.
Great ad. I'm surprised he actually didn't drop the Cleric Pyro Circle there and just pray for a second spell. It's like he's if he hasn't changed his deck from yesterday, which again he's allowed to do, he has those Holy Smites.
The Silence as well.
Silence, exactly. That was a great deck card, deck tech.
Yeah. Silence would be a fantastic card to draw actually right now because not only are you clearing the Huffer out, but you'd also be silencing that high main, which would then allow you to trade the Cabal Shadow Priest. So that would be a gargantuan draw.
Huge draw.
Mammoth draw.
I'm not going to go down that road. Cleric Circle is my best guess as to what he does immediately upon seeing the board in turn 9.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for it? Cleric Circle.
Double Cleric.
Sometimes you got to
Injured
go full
Blade
cleric.
Master? No, sometimes. No, never go full Noxious. Especially against a Priest.
Yeah.
When I first started playing Control Priest, I'd be like, late game, oh, might as well just throw down my...
Might as well just drop it.
And then he just plays like all of his cards, Pyromancer.
Pyromancer Circle ends up being
Pyromancer's
like
like Holy
damage.
Smites my face and then circles, and then I overdraw by like 8 cards. It's brutal.
All right, so he's going to go ahead and clear that 6-5 off. Left with just... So, yeah, so now what does he do, though? If he had played that other Pyro...
Circle. double Northshire Circle.
Do it, man. The dream. Single Northshire Circle.
He would have
get him
drawn
up to
10 cards.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't even get him up to 10 cards. It
Well,
would
single
draw him
Northshire,
10
yeah.
cards. Oh, okay.
All right, what's this going to be? Freezing Trap. Explosive. I think he healed
Keeps
first.
it alive. He's not really in any type of dangerous health levels here. So Max is looking really good
Yeah,
here.
looks like he's stabilized. Noxious is in a really difficult position.
This Hunter deck is just fitting in so many things that I never thought you could fit in all at once. He's got tracking as well as Hunter marks as well as loot hoarders. This is a Hunter deck that's reminiscent of earlier in this month. But it's sort of evolved now. Hunters have gone from like base Hunter, and then they went, oh, let's go Death Rattle Hunter, but still with a lot of aggressive cards. And then now it's more, hey, why don't we put Yetis in there?
Yeah, it's trended back towards the mid-range we saw around the release of Nex.
At this rate, eventually it's going to be, you know what, let's put Spectral Knights in it. What about a Cairn? Baron Geddon!
Control Hunter.
And then it's just going to become the Control Warrior, but just with a Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, he's going full Northshire. Didn't heal first. Didn't heal his Blade Master first. Guess he just wants to heal face.
Oh god. Here we go.
There we go.
Here comes this whole
Another
deck.
2 cards. Noxious is not looking happy with that one though. Virtually nothing. Oh, now he's looking happy. Noxious is always happy. What are we talking about?
He looked happy and then he rolled his eyes.
Yeah, I'm just not. You know, maybe the Hunter's Mark goes down on the 4/6 and he trades in his 1/1, gets the 2 tokens back. But even then, it's like that's so weak to Pyro.
Yeah,
we're at the stage where Max has those huge late game cards like Ysera or Mind Control, and any threat Noxious is realistically going to be able to put down, like the Savannah Highmane, it's just going to get easily taken care of by Max.
Yeah. I don't know what he can do.
He can Hunter's Mark the 4/6 and then concede. Oh wait, nope, I hit my limit. I'm already making that joke once today. But
he could Totem, see what he gets. Maybe he'll get the Spellpower Totem, then he can concede.
Noxious just really in a tough spot. I think it's over.
Oh, here's what he can do. He can Hunter's Mark the injured Blade Master, put the Leper Gnome down, trade the Haunted Creeper into the injured Blade Master, hero power, then concede.
That's tricky. No Deadly Shot. Wow. Saving that for Ysera. Watch just the huge swing turn as Max plays as Ysera and Noxious gets a lucky 1-3 Deadly Shot. Completely just changes the game.
This Hunter deck is very interesting, and it seems like it's catered to counter very specific types of decks with the Deadly Shot. I mean, it's great against those one-hit wonder decks that play a card, and that's what their deck is based around. I can imagine this deck is pretty good against Miracle Rogue. But that's, I mean, the Deadly Shot is just such an inconsistent card here.
Yeah.
And you can tell just right now, he had the option of throwing the Deadly Shot into 4 creatures.
Right away.
I don't know what he can even draw to pull him out of this type of situation.
Yep. Well, luckily, it's now a 1-2 chance if he trades that creeper into the 1/1.
1-2. Oh, the Ysera awakens.
Sadly, that 1/1 token is not a beast as well.
Oh,
and he gets it. Nice.
Max is very surprised. Well played.
Well played. Ha! Well played.
Maybe he'll go and have himself a giggle.
All these Brits. Oh man, and the full Northshire continues.
Yep.
He's. I wonder how many cards are left. I mean, Max is in just such a dominant position. It's like all he has to do is just heal face every turn.
Fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess, or just end the game.
Yeah.
In the game in the next 2 turns.
Oh, the worst card to draw when you're on that 10 mana.
Yep.
Wow. Especially when you're top decking. And his hero power is just going to negate the hero power of Max's hero power is going to negate the hero power from Noxious every turn.
Yep.
Noxious is not impressed. Gives us a yawn. You've activated my trap card. My third deck is crazy.
This guy's deck is crazy. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to decide to try and push through some card draw with that circle. He's definitely got the option. He's got the Blade Master
I don't think it's necessary at all. Well, but who cares about whether or not it's necessary?
Exactly.
All he cares about is whether or not it's fun.
Ooh, Zombie Chow too. Dark Cultist. No real sense to play the Zombie Chow, I guess, just in case of. Well, you know, at this point it doesn't even matter. You can play anything you want. You're out of single card draw lethal range, and that's going to be the game. Going to.
Oh wow!
Going,
Two
oh,
Undertakers
there's
in
the
a
Undertaker
row.
at the very bottom of his deck. It's like
Yeah.
card number 20.
And there's the concede.
That's going to be the concede from Noxious. At least he looks happy while doing it. Flashes out the smile. And unfortunately, his robe and wizard hat is not going to get him through game 2 of this match.
Yeah, I thought it was an automatic victory when you put those on, but he's down 2-0 now, so he's got one more chance, or maybe even 3 more chances if he's able to take the next 2 matches. But
Right. It is a best of 5.
He's very close to being out of this tournament.
Yep. So we're going to see what deck he selects, and it's going to be Rogue versus Hunter. Noxious, he is very well known for his Miracle Rogue. Let's see if this is going to be the game that brings him back into the match.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen some favorable matchups against Hunter as Miracle Rogue. If you can kind of be a bit less greedy and use maybe the Eviscerates and Backstabs before you get your Auctioneer or maybe even Violet Teacher down. Kind of get that control down on the early board.
Or be very risky. And as soon as you draw Van Cleef, go for the largest Van Cleef you can possibly go for.
A
And
12,
just put on the pressure.
Yep. We did actually see
I said
that.
the largest Van Cleef you could possibly think of, and you defaulted to a 12-12.
12-12 is pretty big.
That's
man.
a respectable Van Cleef, but
It's probably not the biggest.
not the biggest. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we are jumping into the game. So we'll see if Noxious can claw his way back in this series. Down 2-0, Max just 1 game away. And put it on the back of that Hunter.
Wow, actually throwing back the Eviscerate. That's the sort of card which you can, especially when you're on the coin, you can coin out and deal with an Undertaker very easily. Oh no, and instead he gets double prep. It's just such a slow start against Hunter.
Yeah. That makes for a bigger Van Cleef, though.
Yes. I like how you're just like, yeah, Van Cleef. It's like, Max just says, yeah, freezing trap.
Noxious we're not gonna see the Van Cleef this game. Noxious gonna contact me and say, "Hey man, I don't even run Van Cleef."
Everyone runs Van Cleef.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, Noxious is not
Yeah,
happy
Noxious
with that
laughed
start.
at me too.
Yeah, he's laughing at your jokes. Oh, good one, TJ. That's good. You got one person to laugh at your jokes.
Yeah. It's too bad it's fake.
Oh, there it is, though.
No!
Backstab, coin, prep, Van Cleef. If he does this, yeah, Fan of Knives first for sure. Wow. Only an 8-8.
That legitimately could have been a 12-12.
It really could have.
Did I
And
call
then-
that or did
boy,
I call that?
I was the one who said 12-12, man.
Well,
Don't
I
take
just
that
said
away.
Van Cleef.
That is true.
Go risky.
That is true. It is a risky Van Cleef, but there's the freezing
Ooh.
trap.
Okay, well, this is a perfect turn to play the Arcane
Arcane
Golem.
Golem.
Who cares if you're given 100 more mana? You
Yeah.
got 2 cards.
Yeah, he will be able to sneak in that 8 damage, but that Hunter's Mark.
Sneak it right in.
Sneak it. Yeah, exactly. It's not exactly suspicious or sorry, stealthy. Wait a second. Why am I at 22? Oh, right. The board shook.
Yeah.
Heaven opened up. Yeah, I like that play though. That's playing around a Hunter's Mark. I wonder if that was intentional from Noxious because
Ooh.
this is the first time that he's seen Max's Hunter deck. Not everyone's running Hunter's Mark these days.
Yeah. And
Wow.
this turn.
And the conceal
man.
off the top.
That is.
Max just got a little bit surprised there.
17 health.
Wow. That is a super strong.
I don't think I'd even hesitate
Yeah.
to throw down this conceal.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? You're going to put him at 9 health next turn if you're able to put that Van Cleef through.
And then you can just Arcane Golem too.
Arcane Golem next turn. Yeah, this is getting dangerously close to Max just falling down in this game.
Yeah, you're getting down to like a Eviscerate range, which means just an easy kill on turn 6, whether or not you get your gadgets in, or any other kind of combo mechanics down.
Noxious is
Yeah,
really
think
thinking
about
this
it,
one
though.
through, though.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. There's no, short of maybe a Unleash the Hounds, there's nothing that Max can do without taking that 8 damage to the face anyway. But you know, why not do that the next turn where it secures the win?
Yeah.
All right, there's a high main on curve.
I mean, that's the dim light at the end of the very dark tunnel.
It is a long, dark tunnel.
I mean, on curve, that makes
Well,
up
he
for
did
him
it.
having an 8-8 Van Cleef on turn 2.
Yep. So that's going to be 12 damage going to Max's face if he chooses to.
Yeah. Which, I mean, why not?
Yeah. He could prep Deadly Poison and SI Agent, which is 5 damage, but
Or you could just
that's
do that
just one
next
extra,
turn.
exactly. Yeah, play the Arcane Golem on curve. The only reason you wouldn't want to is if you're playing around some kind of 8 mana combo from Hunter, which could be Hero Power, Kill Command for
Yeah.
a total of 18.
Yeah.
But even then,
Or
oh
some-
wait, actually, you know what? If he had those exact cards, Max could have won this game because he has the bow active. It would have been exactly 21 damage. But that is just such an obscure combo. You can't play around things like that.
Well, you can.
But you don't
I
want
would
to.
advise against
Yes,
it.
exactly.
He's got 3 cards.
It's
He's
very
only been through 10 cards in his deck.
Right.
That double kill command.
It's very rare where you see one of those moments where he did actually literally need precisely those 2 cards to win.
Yeah. Where his deck was just that crazy.
All right. What's he going to do? Hunter's mark the 8/8 and trade in his
And then he's dead.
And then he's dead.
I don't
Either
think
way,
there's any way out of this situation
no taunts in hand.
for Max.
Unless there was some bizarre way that he could kill his own mad scientist and get a freezing trap or something like that.
Yeah.
But even then, dagger up Deadly Poison. Noxious is probably going to take this game and bring it to game 4, game 5.
Yeah, he's going to think through as much as he possibly can, think, what can I do to be able to get out of this? But even just a regular dagger hit would be enough next
So-
turn.
We've been calling that a wizard's hat. It may actually be a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Because there is a belt buckle on there. Oh, there we go. Noxious.
Whoa!
He's happy with that one. Staying in the match, taking it to game number 4.
I thought he was cosplaying Harry Potter, and that was the sorting hat.
I think I saw the buckle, so I think he's a pilgrim.
No, I think the buckle is just,
It's just
yeah, I just didn't
decoration.
think it was there. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely
Awesome.
a sorting hat.
Yep.
I think even thought I heard him like mouth like Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Definitely
He
a Harry
looks
Potter
like
cosplay.
He looks like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to go into game 4 now, and we are going to be able to see what these guys think what they think their most favorable deck is.
The
It looks like it's
blind
going to be
pick
Rogue
round.
versus Hunter. Wow.
Whoa. Okay, so a mirror match. Well, not a mirror match, but a
repeat.
rematch.
Repeat. Noxious and Max just throwed down the gauntlet and said, "Do it again."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Noxious, we mentioned, he's very well known for his Miracle Rogue play, and it looks like he's confident with that. He could even take the entire match just by picking up 3 wins with that Miracle Rogue.
And will we see the big Van Cleef this game again? That's all I care about.
I'm in the mood for another God Draw Gadgetsan Auctioneer game. Those are the quintessential Miracle Rogue games for me. He may even be one of those kind of like way out of left field Violet Teacher Miracle Rogue decks. But
Yeah. Whoa.
whoa,
Let's not get
slow down
Let's
there.
not get crazy here.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I think we're about ready for the game. Not a whole lot to say since it is, again, a repeat of Game 3. So, but this time around there actually is a huge difference, and that is that Noxious is starting on the coin.
Yes.
So he's going to throw everything back and look for that Gadgetsan Auctioneer.
Yeah, he did start on the coin last game as well.
Oh, man,
the
and
Van
he looks
Cleef!
happy. The Van Cleef and the Arcane Golem.
And the conceal. All he needs is a prep and a fan of knives, and this game is exactly the same as last game.
Yep. But the other thing is we may also...
Oh my
man.
god. Oh jeez.
He's done it.
He's done it.
He's done it. He can prep into that conceal, but put the Van Cleef down first, and that could be an 8/8 on turn 3, which is concealed.
Yeah. Or he could just conceal first and then
Man.
make the Van Cleef even bigger.
Oh, what a cold blood too. He's even got the Arcane Golem, which he can use to proc the freezing trap like he did in the last game.
Yep.
Noxious has got to be feeling pretty confident about this matchup right now.
Yep. Ooh.
Ooh, decides to go for
Ah.
the safer
No,
play.
this is great. He's going to get greedy, and I love greed.
You just want to see a 16-16 Van Cleef.
I still don't know why you just limit yourself.
You want to see a 28-28 Van Cleef.
There we go.
OTK.
Now we're talking.
I know you do. Don't worry.
You're like, I don't know about that. That sounds a little too crazy. Blade Flurry,
Oh,
not
wow.
the best, but Oh, wait.
This is just so
Backstab,
yeah, seriously.
Prep, Blade Flurry,
Exactly.
Van Cleave,
Exactly.
Coin before that, and
Just for the fun of it.
Cold Blood, one of the Spectral Spiders. Oh, yes.
It's going to happen, man. I believe. Cold-blooding one of the Spectral Spiders, that's actually pretty genius.
Next level.
I was thinking about just like, oh, yeah, you want to conceal it after you play all that. But
No,
no,
you
you
just-
think a step ahead.
You played, okay, so let's see how much mana he has. He can have a total of 4 mana this turn.
Right, so backstab the 1/2.
Yep.
Prep. Ignore the producer saying Cold Blood first because that would mean he doesn't have the mana to cast the conceal,
Definitely.
which he may want.
Definitely.
So you backstab the 1/2. Go ahead and Blade Flurry. That gets rid of the 2 tokens.
Prep Blade Flurry.
Yeah, that way you're playing around Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, then you still have 4 mana remaining
I mean, let's be
with the
real.
coin.
Throw half your cards down and then play Van Cleave, and
He's
you're
going
pretty
for
much
it.
golden.
Here we go.
This is it, though.
Here it is. Blade Flurry.
My
Coin.
body is ready. Coin out. Coin it out.
No! Yes!
There we go. The Van Cleave and the conceal.
10-10.
That's going to be a 10-10.
That's it. That's
We
what
did
I'm
it.
talking about.
Oh, Noxious. Noxious is happy with that one, too.
Yep. And Max is like, why does this keep happening to me?
The
and
look
next
on his
turn,
face.
he can Arcane Golem to pop the freezing trap.
Ooh.
Oh, this is nice.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
But that's still going to get the Arcane Golem. It's just going to prevent it from going back to the hand.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It's going to pop both traps at the same time. Ooh.
Does it still work that way?
Yes.
Okay. I'll trust you.
I guarantee it.
The milk guarantee.
You'll like the way I Arcane Golem. I guarantee it. He's got to. Come on, he's got to. That's 14 damage, Van Cleef, after that Cold Blood goes down.
Yep.
Come on, Noxious.
That is, in fact, a 14.
No, he doesn't do it. All right, so he's gonna. That is a good way to ensure that your Arcane Golem survives through the freezing trap.
Yep.
But that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
You're
That's the
giving your
turn.
opponent one more turn to draw into that Iron Beak Owl.
Or the pesky Hunter's Mark.
The
with
Hunter's
stone-
Mark,
Ooh,
Stone
wait,
Tusk Boar.
He could tank that damage to face.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, he decides not to.
He still can do the same thing next turn, but that just means he's going to take 10 more damage.
Half of Max's life total is going to go down to this single swing
But at the same
from
time,
Edwin Van Cleef.
15 damage Max has next turn. With the kill command, the hero power, 16
man.
damage with the boar.
all
Oh, they're
about
just
that
racing
boar.
each other. This is just
Here
a
we go.
race.
It's a clock. It's a 2-turn clock.
What is he going to draw? If he draws a second kill command, this game's over.
Oh, Tiger.
Ooh, that's not a good draw.
All right, but still, you could put down the kill
He's got-
command.
Yeah. So he's
You
got
can't play the freezing trap. At this
16
point, you know
damage.
he's got the Arcane Golem and it's on curve.
Yep.
That would be lethal just off the back of the Van Cleef.
Yeah, he's got to trade both of these guys in here, which really hurts.
Yep.
But it's his only play.
Ooh. Freezing trap 2, just a hero power. And there we go. There's a clear. Rest in peace, Sir Van Cleef.
Yeah. Still though, I mean, now Noxious though, he's running out of damage. Sinister Strike is a great draw, but Kool-Aid Oracle, hey, that also gives your opponent
Ooh.
cards.
All right, what is he going to play here? Probably going to dagger up, right? Maybe just dagger up and Leper Gnome. You have so many ways to get value out of those spells, like Sinister Strike or Dagger or, Deadly Poison or Blade Flurry.
Yeah.
He's really got to count on the miracle.
He does not want to dagger into that for fear that it's an explosive trap, and he's just putting himself in lethal range. But 5 damage showing for your opponent, even if he puts himself at 12 health, that's still 7 damage. With one kill command gone, I don't think there's a way that Hunter can do that 7 damage.
He's got to know it's freezing trap at this point. He just hit face
Yep.
with the dagger.
Or snake trap, but he's already seen one explosive trap, so I don't think he's going to expect a snake trap in this situation. But then again, it could be the greatest mind game ever. I'm going to put one of each trap in my deck. You'll never know what's coming.
That the 14-14 Van Cleef could have hit his own face off of misdirect. You never know, man.
Risky plays.
All right, 10 health on Max's face. He's holding out for one more turn, wants to sneak in that damage. Doesn't want to lose his bow.
He's thinking about whether or not he wants to attack here. I think that would be
Yeah.
He does have a secret on board. He's guaranteed an extra charge this turn, but he's actually going to clear this. This guarantees that Misha is going to be really hard to remove.
Yep.
Ooh, but is he going to do it? He's going to take 2 more damage, and
It's interesting to look at the mana, though, because Max is going into effectively turn 9, thanks to that Arcane Golem. Noxious only has 6 mana, 7 next turn. So I feel like you're so comfortable playing big minions that you top deck. Do you really want to be this kind of like fast and loose, get down to just 8 health? There's a Gadget's Hand.
No.
There's the Gadget's Hand, though.
I think he loses. He can proc the Freezing Trap with the Colette Oracle, clear the Misha, but that's still 9 damage showing on the board. Oh, that's going to be really close. 3 damage he's got to draw into. Kill Command will win the game.
He's got 9 damage, just missing 3. Even an Animal Companion with a good roll. I think he's just gonna dagger up and pray. One more turn. This is what Miracle does best, though. They pray.
You play against your deck, not against your opponent.
Exactly. All right, what's the final draw potentially of this game gonna be?
Ooh,
Hunter's Mark.
That's not gonna help him whatsoever. It's going to put him definitely in range, so Noxious needs something.
Turn left for Noxious. What is he going to do?
There's not that many outs for him in this situation. He's going to have to rely on the Gadget and Auctioneer to draw into something.
Oh,
that's almost it.
Oh,
that's
it's
almost
so
it.
close.
He's got a Cold Light Oracle into the second Sinister Strike or into a Deadly Poison. He's still got a couple outs here. Even a second Eviscerate.
Oh,
that's
no,
not it.
That's not it. That isn't it either. He could Gadget Sand prep.
I don't think he can draw into anything else.
All right, so Eviscerate is 4 damage, Blade 5, Sinister Strike 8.
Oh,
He's
no!
1 damage off lethal.
Wow. I don't think he can draw anything else.
He is 1 damage off lethal, TJ.
Wow. He already used that first prep. There's nothing that he can draw into that with that Gadgets and Auctioneer. That is heartbreaking for Noxious. And Harry Potter also had some very heartbreaking moments in that series, so it's fitting for that cosplay. I don't think
Snape
there's a way out of this.
backstabbed Dumbledore.
Spoiler alert.
That's going to be so heartbreaking for Noxious. He can't even play the board control game.
Yeah.
That Lepronome alone, if he gets rid of that, he's down to 1.
He's not willing to admit it right now, but he's just going to wait to the rope, try and see. Wow.
Poor guy.
Oh, no.
Max is sweating right now, though, because he doesn't know if this is elaborate BM or not.
It's not
That
elaborate
is going to be the
BM,
game.
but ouch.
Yeah, there we go. Honorable. Honorable out there from Noxious. Max breathing a sigh of relief as he takes the set 3-1 and advances to the semifinals here in the ESL Legendary
Such
Series.
a close match.
So close.
Really a good one. And I think Noxious might have even have a great chance. That Miracle Rogue was pretty good against all the decks that Max was bringing. So that definitely could have gone either way. But, wow, Max, impressive series, taking that one in. Both of our qualified players from the Open Finals yesterday making it to the semifinal round, taking out those invited players. That's pretty impressive.
It's really impressive. And anyone who is in the semifinals is going to be Fraze in D2 and then Pin Ping Ho and Noxious. Anyone who wins this next match will qualify to come back to the next week of the ESL Legendary Series.
Yeah, which gives them more chances at getting more points. And the more points that they get gives them more chances to make it to that land final
the
in
$20,000 land.
$20,000.
$20K.
Yeah, that is a very, very large sum of money for people just playing some card games. But I do think we have to go to a quick break before we jump into our first semifinal match. But, guys, we still have 3 more best of 5s, a lot of great Hearthstone action, probably some more top decks.
Probably. Just a few.
Yeah, still to go today. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.